Welcome to another edition of Monkey Night Fight Picks here through Fantasy Focus. I'm here with the entire crew. I'm Derek Tate alongside Ryan Levy and Matt Bucs as we break down our DFS picks for the tilt between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium for week 2 of the 2020 NFL season. So, boys, we've seen two teams coming off of a loss in week 1. The Carolina Panthers, a 34-30 loss at the hands of the Las Vegas Raiders. And then Tommy Boy, not such a great Buccaneer debut for Brady and the boys as they came off a loss against the New Orleans Saints. But new week, new slate of matchups. Chris Godwin looks like he is going to be doubtful for this. He entered concussion protocol earlier this week, and he is highly questionable for the Sunday matchup against the Carolina Panthers. But it looks like they are going to have Mike Evans available for this matchup. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Boys, you guys ready to talk a little Buccaneers football or what?
Oh, I'm ready, man. I got to tell you, Depression Monday was really rough after an all-time offseason high of Buccaneer football. But the Rays are in the playoffs. The Lightning are in the Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay morale is climbing. Brady's going to get his first win as a Buccaneer on Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday started so promising for young Tommy. I was like, even my mom was texting me, he's back. He's all the way back. And no, Ma, he wasn't. Pick Six City. Mike Evans with a quiet week, not to be, concerned about that. He had some lockdown type of coverage on him. Did secure a touchdown. I'm actually curious about Scotty Miller in this matchup here.
If anything, when doing a film review on Brady and the Buccaneers, even though, yes, Brady made some uncharacteristic, un-Brady-like mistakes with 2 bad interceptions. I mean, one of which was just a complete miscommunication between him and Mike Evans, where Evans looks like he gave up on middle field open route. He was expecting him to go to the post and cut in front of the safety, and Mike Evans just sat down in the zone, decided not to, and interception. But really the one that the pick 6 was Tom Brady going to an alert look. He had the screen set up to Leonard Fournette and probably would have gotten some good yardage out of it. It was a good dialed up play, and Brady decided to go to the alert. I'm not as much concerned about Tom Brady, though. I thought that his accuracy pushing the ball down the field, he drew 3 long pass interference calls. So his passing yards totals could have been much better than they were in week 1. But I don't know if they're going to be playing from behind against the Carolina Panthers. How do you see the game flow playing out between the Panthers and the Buccaneers, Levy?
For me, I agree with you. I'm staying away from the yardage totals on the quarterbacks in this game because I do think the Bucs are going to run the ball pretty heavily, and I think they're going to be playing from ahead. And I like the Bucs defense, to be clear, and they pretty much shut down McCaffrey last year, and this defense isn't all that different. So I do like the Bucs defense a lot in this. For me, I expect Evans to have a pretty big game, though. There was some chatter from Arian saying he was disappointed in his usage in week 1. I know he's a little bit banged up and all that, but I expect Evans, especially with a banged up Godwin, who's not likely to play, I expect Evans to show up.
Bucky?
Yeah, I'm not sure I like 78.5 here. I think he's just under that, around 68, 69. Nice. He's somewhere in that range. I got less for Mike Evans in this game. I honestly think it's Scotty Miller game.
I think that there's a world where both of them can be very effective and very productive while the Bucs are building up a lead. Now, granted, I think that Mike Evans is going to see quite a bit of like Dante Jackson and potentially Troy Pride Jr., and depending on how much they line him up in the slot. But basically every secondary member, even if it's Justin Burris working out of the slot for the Carolina Panthers, I think that the matchups favor Evans all across the field, and Scotty Miller too. But this week, I believe that Mike Evans and Tom Brady connect on a couple big plays down the football field to hit that yardage total. I'm not as much certain about his complete reception total. I probably think he's going to be somewhere around 5 receptions, but I do think that he hits that mark, even though he had a horrible, rough debut against Marshawn Lockdown Lattimore. But I'll go more on 78.5. I just think that he bounces back in week 2.
Fired in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm going. You know it, baby. So what about Christian McCaffrey, though? McCaffrey only 3 receptions in week 1 against the Raiders defense, and they're nothing really to write home about. So how do you? I mean, I know that the Bucs have bottled up Christian McCaffrey quite a bit on the ground in going back to last year. I mean, they were number one against the run, and they did a good job on the ground against Alvin Kamara. But we're talking about the passing game involvement. There were some things that maybe concerned me about his week one usage in the passing game in this new Joe Brady-led offensive system with Teddy Bridgewater under center. But I mean, Buckey, you got to think that it's going to be, if they're going to be playing from behind, McCaffrey's going to get his touches involved in one way or the other. How do you see 5.5 receptions in this game?
As the founder and CEO of Less Incorporated, I'm going to hammer that less here. I'm gonna think he finishes with 4 or 5 receptions. And look, I'm going to go less across the board today. I'm just putting that out there for the masses.
Come on, man. Look, if we're going game script here and the Bucs are going to be playing from ahead here, this is an easy one for me on more. If anything, I expect the Bucs to continue to stuff the run game, and I feel like they're going to be forced to throw the ball to McCaffrey. So I think he gets 6 or 7 catches in this game. I mean, you said it. We shut down Kamara last week on the ground, but through the air, he was pretty much effective. 5 for 51 and a tutty. So I think McCaffrey has a Kamara-esque day against the Bucs, but I think he gets 6 or 7, not 5, to be clear.
That's a high number. That's a really high number for any player, not even just a running back. I mean, I get it. There is no better option out of the backfield for catching the football at the running back spot than your boy C-Mac. But that's a high number, man. But I will lean with game flow, and I expect that Christian McCaffrey, if he's inefficient on the ground, like I expect him to be, then I'm hoping Joe Brady is smart enough, which I know that he is, to get McCaffrey the ball in other ways. So that I'll lean the more on 5.5 receptions, even though this one I don't feel 100% great about, to be 100% honest with you. So I'm just going to put a 5 spot on it.
Bucky, you're just getting stuffed in a locker in week 2 over here.
Let me out. I need a sandwich or something in here, man.
Sorry, Buck. I don't mean to disagree with you, but it's
all good, boys.
It's how I see it. It's how I see it. So let me pull this back up here in just a second. But the other ones that we like, are there any other games, Buck or Levy, that you want to play other than one of the 30 time spots?
No, we gotta bang through episodes today. So let's just jump straight to the juice.
You know, I want to say on air that you need to pipe down. You need to slow your roll here a little bit. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. I don't like being rushed when making my picks, because that's when I make mistakes. So
I got to tell you, Thursday
night mistakes. Look at Robbie Anderson's hair. Holy shit.
It looks incredible. But I do want to say Thursday Night Football, we were pretty good except for Odell Beckham Jr., man. Yeah,
OBJ did it to us. We got OBJ'd, man, who knows which player is going to show up on a weekly basis. But here is the tilt that we like to play here on our picks on Fantasy Focus through Monkey Knife Fight. By the way, if you have not checked this out yet, go to monkeyknifefight.com, create an account, use the promo code FOCUS when you make your first deposit of $50 or more. Monkey Knife Fight will automatically credit your account with an additional $50. So when we're going through these picks, if you pick all 6 correctly, you get 30 times your buy-in, or 35 times your buy-in. My apologies. So let's run them down. Tom Brady, 280.5 passing yards. Bucky, more or less?
Less. I'm with you.
Levy, I'm going less as well.
Yeah, less all day on this one. Tate, look at your account over there, man. You got 3 figures in your account. You must be killing it.
I hit on, I think, two of these hitters from last week.
Let's go. Let's run that up to 4 figures.
I'm doing all right. So Teddy Bridgewater, 250.5 passing yards. Here's the tricky thing. Game flow, if we feel like the Panthers are going to be playing from behind, do we feel like Teddy Bridgewater gets over 250.5 passing yards? Bucky?
Less.
I believe in the Bucs defense. I am also going less. Even if we're going game flow, I don't think he hits 250.
You know, I feel like we're going to get to DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson here in a little bit. I feel like one of those 2 players is going to have a good game. I just don't know if both of them are going to have a good game. So as much as I feel like game flow is going to favor Teddy Bridgewater, I will go ahead and fade him on the less on this specific play. So Mike Evans, damn it, I said earlier, I think that he's going to have 5 or 6 receptions. And of course, the receptions is set at 5.5.
Yeah.
So, oh boy. So this is obviously it's a little bit of a toss up for me. Levy, I'll throw it to you first. 5.5 receptions for Mike Evans.
With no Godwin, I'm gonna lean more here. I think him and Scotty Miller both catch 6 balls in this game. So I will go more.
Buck.
Believe it or not, I'm going to go less.
You said that you were going less the entire time, and you're a man of your word. So, I mean, without Chris Godwin, I do believe that Mike Evans, I've already mentioned, I like the matchups this week for Mike Evans. I don't see them having much of an answer for that. The only thing, Levy, again, I expect him to have a good yardage total, though. I think that the Bucs are going to be able to run the football a bit more effectively. Remember what Josh Jacobs did to the Panthers defense on the ground last week. I mean, just absolutely shredded up this defense. So I think they're going to be able to control the ball. I don't know if they're going to have to air it out quite as much. That's why we're going less on the passing yards total, and I'll go less on the receptions. I think it's 5 receptions for Mike Evans. And I mean, I don't feel great about it, but I will say that if you know, that's the way that my gut's telling me to go. But Christian McCaffrey, 72.5 rushing yards. Last week, Kamara was set at 66. I said take the less. This defense is so damn good against the run. It's not yardage total. It's just pure rushing yards. I'm doing the less on Christian McCaffrey against this rushing defense.
I'm with you on that for sure. Can we real quick back to the Bucs run game? Just real quick. I know it's not relevant to this contest, but am I crazy for thinking Lenny Fournette gets more involved this week? I mean, Rojo looked okay, but still less than 4 yards a carry.
I think he'll be more involved, but I still think that Jones has the majority of the carries.
All right.
If anything, I think we'll probably see something more like what happened with the Cleveland Browns. Not to that extent, you know, both players aren't going to have that type of game, but I do think that they're just overall more efficient running the football on the ground this week. They're playing against a much softer defensive front for the Carolina Panthers. So I think both players will be effective and efficient with their touches. And I do think with game flow, Levy, I think we'll see Leonard Fournette more involved.
All right. So we're going less on McCaffrey.
Yep, less on McCaffrey, and he'll probably make us regret it. But DJ Moore, 70.5 receiving yards. Bucky.
More. I will go more here for DJ Moore. It's more of a pun thing.
Analysis. Hashtag analysis. Levy.
Oh man, 9 targets last week for DJ Moore. Almost a target hog. You got to get to 10 to be a target hog, you know. I'm gonna go less on DJ Moore and more on Rude Boy Bob.
So you're going less on DJ Moore and more on Rude Boy Bob?
Yes.
I mean, Rude Boy Bob's production came a lot on one big play. Not to say that he was completely irrelevant for the rest of the game, but I mean, he played well in week 1, and certainly he was more involved. If you're a Rude Boy Bob believer, then you're probably, you know, excited about his week 1 involvement. But I don't think that he repeats that in this game. I think DJ Moore is the guy that's the biggest problem for this secondary. And if he's matched up against Jamal Dean, then I really like DJ Moore this week. Robbie Anderson, I'm more so fading. I think that Carlton Davis and, you know, Sean Murphy-Bunting and the rest of the Bucs secondary is going to do a good job kind of bottling him up. But DJ Moore is the one they're probably not going to have an answer for. So I'm going more on DJ Moore, and I'm going less on Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, the logic is sound there. It's just I look at target share, and Anderson had 8 targets, and he can get 53 yards on 1 catch like he showed us last week. I'm a believer in Anderson. You know, I've been a believer for years. So
well, Buck's actually the tiebreaker on Robbie Anderson because you're more on Robbie, I'm less. So Bucky, it's all up to you here on Anderson.
So Bob Anderson in his picture looks a lot like, imagine 6th grade, and you have a nice eraser, which you then throw a bunch of staples through, and it creates a satellite that you then chuck up on the ceiling. I'm going more for Rude Boy Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Through the ceiling.
That's the ultimate comparison right there.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing that's tricky, though. You think that they're both going more. I mean, that's 123 passing yards right there, and we're saying that Teddy Bridgewater is going to go less than 250. I mean, that just feels dicey. But, I mean, that's what you guys feel. That's what we got to do. That's why we're rolling here at Fantasy Focused.
Yeah, but like who? I mean, Curtis Samuel's there and Ian Thomas, but
And Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield.
right. But
And we
still,
just said that he's going to catch what, more than 5.5 receptions. So he's going
for
to
60 yards.
yeah, I was gonna say 60 yards. So then you're looking at 180. Ian Thomas.
We're
catches
getting
2
close,
for
man.
23.
We're getting close, though.
Curtis
That's the
Samuel
thing
gets
here.
40.
There's no perfect science here, Tate. We're talking about eraser satellites.
So that'll do it. And I'm going to go ahead and just to make this official, I am rolling, even though it's not everything that I would have played. But you know what? I trust the boys here at Fantasy Focus, and you should too. So go ahead and subscribe if you have not yet done so. This is the first time coming across our channel here at Fantasy Focus. We really appreciate any and all the support. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our fantasy football content as we break down our contests, picks, and we answer your questions on our live show tomorrow morning on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live until noon Eastern Standard Time to answer any and all of your lineup questions heading into every single week of the fantasy football season. Again, if you haven't checked out monkeyknifefight.com and prop bets is kind of your thing, go to monkeyknifefight.com, create an account, and use the promo code FOCUS when you make your first deposit of $50 or more, and Monkey Knife Fight will automatically put an additional $50 into your account heading into the rest of the fantasy football season. And until next time, everybody, good luck, go Bucs, and later, says the Tater.
See you. Goodbye.